Hi, my name is Salmonella, and this is 50 interesting Blitz facts you probably didn't know about. Chieftain T95 has the highest view range for a T-Rate Heavy. Type 5 Heavy had a second legendary camouflage leak a while ago that is yet to be released. SU-100Y Type 5 Heavy, Tankenstein, and ISU-130 is specifically the only tanks that shoots premium AP and has a lower penetration than their standard shells, but deals more damage than their standard shells. It's kind of like Hash but better. Panzer II-J is basically a mouse at tier 3. Chinukai has the highest credit coefficient in tier 5 and arguably the highest in the entire game. Angry Connor goes faster while reversing and slower when driving it forward. The tank is also just a reskinned archer. Angry Connor has the slowest top speed at 12 km. Sheridan, T92E1 and T49A were the only tanks that can shoot 80 GM and was allowed to be in regular matchmaking until Wargaming took away 80 GM shells from a Sheridan, T92E1 and completely removed the T49A. T49A is still in the game files though. The popular DJ Deadmau5 have its own tanks in game. The Mouse Tank and the reskinned A46 that were added from a collaboration Wargaming did with Deadmau5. Object 140 and the M48 pattern has the most amount of legendary camouflage, with both tanks having 4 legendary camouflage. IF-7 had a premium variant with a permanent camo lock on the tank. The tank is released on the Russian version of the game named WoT Blitz by Lester, and it was named IS-7 Swift. The tank has yet to be released on the Blitz variant of the game. Wargaming, please release it! M48 pattern, T125 and the T124 used to have a bigger hatch back then until Wargaming made them smaller. The WZ122TM was called 122TM when it was first released. This designation is partially incorrect because the WZ122TM is a tank that entered service, hence why it got a WZ designation. Speaking of the 122 project, further development of the 122 project can even be seen in-game as the fictional BZ-75 and the 116F3 took compartment from the WZ-122-4 and the WZ-122-6. The Lurver Lion legendary camouflage used to have a Grenadier insignia at the back of the turret. It was later removed due to it being controversy, though I wish Wargaming would have kept it for the historical value. The IS-6 Fearless was mistakenly sold in store for 7,500 gold in the past, and Wargaming took away the tank from everyone's account as bought the tank and refunded their gold. But eventually Wargaming did give back the tank to those who had bought it, so they basically got an IS-6 Fearless for free. The Sterile Email has the most amount of gun depression in the entire game with a whopping 15 degrees of gun depression. Oppositely, the Vindicator has the least amount of gun depression, sitting at an abysmal 2 degrees of gun depression. Kind of interesting that both vehicles is a tier 7. The Grill 15 Raider camouflage was a tribute to this legendary moment during the 2018 Twister Cup where the Raid clan pushed their Grilly up on the Fort Despair map.
We can see AV must be wondering what the hell is going on
There
here.
he goes!
This is insane.
Have you ever encountered a player using this cat avatar, background or even camouflage? Well, the cat has a name. His name is Konstantin, as to what I'm aware of. Konstantin camouflage used to be purchasable for credits until Wargaming flat out removed the camo from the camo tab for some reason. China is the only nation in tier 10 to have a tank that shoots hash besides the Brits. The ISU-130, AMX M449, WZ-101 and Type 59 is the only tanks to have a special camouflage that isn't a legendary camo. FCM-50 Ton has 2 legendary camouflages, and the choice of name they had chosen for one of them was interesting to say the least. Shifter Mark 6 used to shoot APTR Standard and APTR Premium before he got a hash gun. The WZ-130 9 colors legendary camouflage is based off the Chinese mythology, a deer of 9 colors. There's another Type 59 variant in the game files. The tank is unlikely to be released globally as it's just a NetT server only, although it does look cool. The Hazard 1 features a Scottish flag on the side of the turret for some reason. Scotland mentioned, I guess. The Tier 5 Ram 2 is the only Canadian tank in the game. Panzer 58 is a Swiss tank, not German. Hago is the only Tier 1 to have a legendary camouflage. The legendary camo is from a Girls and Panzer collab, and the camouflage is the classic Chihatan Academic Tank Spain color. Kampfpanzer Vivitan was accidentally released in the Mega container when it first came into the game, making it almost impossible to get with like 0.03% of dark chance. But Wargaming never removed the Kampfpanzer from the Mega container, even though it was a mistake. Mirage and Lost Temple were taken out of the game in update 7.9. A Wargaming said they will be reworking on both maps, yet they never got any rework done. Even when both maps came back for Blitz's birthday last year, they were untouched and still look the same as it was when it was taken out. You're telling me they took it away for quote-unquote reworking and never reworked it, but they were just looking for a reason to remove these. And it's not like these maps are unbalanced. Players love them. I myself especially love the Lost Temple maps. It's my favorite map in the game. If Wargaming were just looking for maps to remove, they should have removed Castilla and Dead Wheels. WZ-110 is the only Chinese Soviet-style heavy in Tier 8 to use a 100mm gun. Type 64 is a Taiwanese tank, not a Chinese tank. Get it right, Wargaming. There used to be a boombox in Seasons with 7 to 9 songs in it. Please bring it back, Wargaming. The bicycle attachment on the WZ-113 GFT used to be on the back before it got a PBR graphic. Now it's on the left side of the tank. Maschtigebar on the mighty Jagdpanzer means mighty bear. Rheinmetall Panzerwagen is the only tier 10 without a legendary camouflage currently. Although, a legendary camouflage of it did leak, but it's not yet to be released. 121B legendary camouflage colors look like a bronzish color instead of gold when it was first announced that it is getting PBR graphic. Wargaming changed it into a more goldish color. It does look sick with a bronze look, not gonna lie. It looks better than the current one. WoTB had a collaboration with Dr. Direspect. This collab did not age well. Oh boy. The Dracula is based off AMX CDC. This is what the 112 Glacial will have looked like without its permanent Glacial Dragon camo. RU-251 has the fastest top speed at 80 km. Conqueror and Super Conqueror is the same tank, with Super Conqueror having additional plates protection against ballistic missiles. Super Conqueror is a made-up nickname by the internet, likely due to it having additional plates, so people just added the word super, like what the Americans did with the Pershing that became a Super Pershing when added additional plates. Type 62 is a smaller and lighter version of Type 59, so essentially it's a light tank version of Type 59. M4FL10 is the first autoloader tank introduced to Blitz. M36 Jackson has a legendary camouflage that shows the Republic of China's emblem, blue sky with a white sun. This is because the Taiwanese had acquired Jackson during the 1950s from the French army. Scorpion G uses a panther hull, yet the armor is hashable on the frontal hull, which doesn't make sense at all. Scorpion G really took a toll on its mobility because of this. It struggles to reach its top speed of 55 km due to it having a panther hull, and it doesn't have the best of acceleration amongst paper tank destroyers in Tier 8.